Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week of That's a Wrap. This is unfortunately technically the first episode of our third semester, our third season here. Should we call the season semesters? Is that like too on the nose?
It's the same thing, honestly.
Anyways,
I went back and forth during our kind of recorded episode last week, but
yeah.
we had to scrap it.
Unfortunately, if you are not in the loop, our last episode had a
Unfortunate audio
yeah,
problem.
it was-
If you go to our Instagram at NCR, wait, that's a wrap NCR.
There we go.
You will hear it for yourselves and know, this is unpublishable. By the way, I'm Anthony.
Oh, that's Anthony. Sorry, I just rushed into the studio. I have a few things that I'm trying to wrap up real quick
Yes.
for myself. But we have
I
still have to watch
a
the
few
trailer. We have
things
a few-
to talk about. Yeah.
Last week we had 15 trailers, 14 trailers, one announcement that we talked about. Those are
Yeah.
now completely flushed
It's
down
in the
the
past.
toilet.
If you want to know, they were all okay.
Yeah, there's nothing like super duper. Willow was kind of
Fabelmans,
cool.
yeah.
Fabelmans was
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, no, that was great.
Fabelmans,
Spielberg.
It's gonna be a film. It'll be a film for sure.
It's Spielberg.
Wow, Spielberg.
He's the best.
He's a director.
The best director. Anyway, we have two trailers to talk about today.
Yes, we do.
I guess I'll start it off while
Go for it.
Austin watches the trailer.
Yeah, I'll be watching the trailer as he talks about
Yeah.
it because I'm prepared and
Might
a
wanna
professional.
Turn off your mic or low volume.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going offline, guys. Anthony will be the host for the next a little bit. So yeah, just a second on that.
Thank you, Austin. So,
Can
yeah.
you still hear me over here?
I think they can.
Yeah, they probably can.
So the first trailer we're talking about is a Whitney Houston biopic called I Want to Dance with Somebody. And you know what? I like the trailer. I thought it was pretty good. I don't know who's in the lead role, but I think she looks like she's going to be a really good Whitney Houston. One of the things that I think is going to be really good about it is it doesn't look like it's going to follow the usual format of music biopics, because I don't know the full history of Whitney Houston, but I don't think she ever got into like drugs or like bad stuff like that. And a lot of music biopics just follow the same basic formula, like Bohemian Rhapsody, Rocket Man, Elvis, all those, which I still really like, but they all just follow a formula. Which with this, I don't think we're gonna get the rise and fall and rise of Whitney Houston. I think we're gonna get the rise, and we'll probably get her struggles, obviously, but yeah, I thought this was a really engaging trailer. Oh man, I'm running out of things to say, and Austin is still watching the trailer.
Whoa! It just you should be good. It just
Yeah.
it peaked for a second.
Oh, oops.
You're good.
But
We have a slightly new mic set up to fix the problem from last time.
we do, yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
Oh, you watched it all.
Hello, everybody. I'm back with my opinion on the I Want to Dance with Somebody trailer.
What did you think?
I watched it in 1.75 speed because I couldn't scroll down in time to watch it in 2.
You can't. No.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I think overall it has a the top of my drink wasn't all the way on. Let me go ahead and fix that real quick before we spill it all over the equipment and ruin this episode too. I think this trailer looks pretty interesting.
I love Whitney Houston.
Yeah, her songs are bops. I like.
Yeah.
I do look. I agree with what you were saying about the biopic. How a lot of them are varied, hero's journey, introduce flaw makes bad thing happen, overcome flaw. Now they're this legendary actor or singer or whatnot.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad. They're all well.
It just feels
I've liked most of them.
Yeah, it just feels very formulaic now. Even Elvis, which I really loved Elvis. It's in my top 10 of the year right now. But it still follows that formula of the rise and then the fall
Right.
to the rise. Or I guess not another rise, because he just falls and then he dies.
Spoiler.
Oh, sorry,
Spoiler.
Elvis. No, Elvis is still alive. Don't
Well,
worry.
I don't want to make any claims here on the. I don't want to represent That's a Wrap and Anyways, what's our what is the name of the second trailer that we're watching?
If you go to our text, I sent it to you. It's the second
I don't
link.
check our text. My secretary does that.
Oh, your secretary?
Yeah, I'm very famous and can afford that. I'm gonna go ahead and watch the new trailer for Babylon.
Yes.
It's featuring Brad Pitt,
Margot Robbie.
Diego. Is it
Just Diego?
Diego or it's Diego Calva? I don't
Diego
know.
Calva?
I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Apologies if I'm not.
Yeah.
So it's an original epic set in the 19th.
Don't read this. Just
Okay,
watch
I'm
the
just gonna watch the
trailer.
trailer. I'm going offline
Okay.
again. I'll be right back.
So yeah, like Austin said, we're gonna talk about Babylon, starring Don't Worry Darlings, Olivia Wilde. So this is sure to be drama free. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was on my top 10 most anticipated of the year when like we did that episode. Go check that out, by the way, if you haven't yet. But yeah, I watched the trailer and I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't even really know what the movie was about. And I came away thinking, yeah, that was an alright trailer. I mean, it looks big budget. It looks like it's going to have some impressive performances. But I'm worried it's just going to be a series of events that don't really connect or lead up to anything. I'm kind of worried it's going to be like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which, I mean, like that movie, it stars Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie set in the early days of Hollywood. But yeah, and like with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I didn't really like it just because I felt like it was just a lot of nothingness, and then it just led up to this big like explosion ending. For this movie, it just seems like a 3-hour party. But if they're leading to something, if there's an actual plot, then I'm not gonna have a problem with it. But I hope it does like have some substance under it.
You know, I agree. And
Yeah.
you bring up a great point, Anthony. I don't know the great point. That was just a transition for me to get back into the conversation.
All my points are great points.
Just watched the literally maybe which one of us walked out of In the Heights? Which one of us walked out of?
That wasn't my choice.
You
I
have
would have
You
stayed.
have a choice in everything.
I would have stayed, but the two people I was with wanted to leave, and they wanted to
Yeah.
watch Peter Rabbit too.
Yeah. You had a choice in that. You had a significant choice in that. I think.
I did not. I was
But
outvoted.
anyways, I did watch the trailer in 2x speed. It looked chaotic.
It did. Yeah.
It gives me like I don't know if Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the thing I'd compare it to most. It seems like
It seems like Wolf of Wall Street.
it
kind
wants
of.
to be so much. You're just comparing it to the movies that the actors and actresses are in.
Well, no, I just meant like I haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street, but like it's from like all like the promotions and stuff for it,
Uh-huh.
and like clips I've seen. It's like big parties, people just being like having greed and power, and kind of like the rise and fall of that, which
Yeah.
it looks like they're kind of going with here.
I think ultimately it like. Well, I watched it very quickly and right now, so I don't have a super great impression of it.
Yeah.
But it looks like it looks like it's a very experimental film that it'll try a lot of things. I just don't know. I can't really tell right now if the things they're going to try will be like actually experimental or if it's just throwing a bunch of different normal things at you at once.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be good. There was a scene of Brad Pitt dancing in his underwear and then falling off a balcony. That's what I got.
Yeah, it just seems like one of those like party movies,
Mm-hmm.
but an Oscar bait movie also. So it's gonna be like 3 hours
Yeah.
long.
When do we know when it comes out? Is it
It comes
this
out
year?
Christmas.
Okay.
Technically this year, but it's
Yeah.
gonna be everywhere early in January.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Who knows? That might be our first review of the next season.
Maybe it will be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I apologize for the lack of professionalism on our first actual episode
Come
of the
on,
season.
Austin, get it together.
I have nothing together. I'm still struggling as we speak, as I scroll violently through my phone to figure out an outside issue. So, do we have anything else
I think that's all.
want to touch on?
Yeah. Let's move on to our main topic.
What Do you want me to do it, or do you want?
You can do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're the host.
I'm prepared. I'm a host, podcast
Yeah.
host. Our main topic for today is The Woman King, featuring
Yes.
Viola Davis.
John Boyega.
John Boyega's in it. Probably a lot of other people that unfortunately cannot recall from memory the name of right now. But a very great cast.
Lashana Lynch. I thought she was really good in this.
And yeah, it's the story of the Dahomey Amazon warrior. Like, it was. I'm not gonna do it justice because I'm incredibly unprepared. I lied. I'm not prepared for anything. But I did see it 2 days ago. It is fresh on my mind. When did you see it,
I
Anthony?
saw it last Thursday
Gotcha.
or Friday. My bad, Friday.
Yeah, and it was a very like interesting. Like, I wouldn't call it an adventure. It's very much a coming of age kind of thing, as well as like
Kind of. It. It's kind of like a historical epic, but
because it's based on a true story.
yeah.
And I'll get to this later, but to me, it felt more like a movie than a based on real life
Yeah.
movie.
It did. Like, it felt. Yeah, let's just get into it. It did feel like a Hollywood production, and less so like a historical epic that
I
it's
agree.
wanting to be. And I mean that's not a bad thing. I like this movie. I thought it was really good. I'm gonna start out with like my kind of big complaint of this, and that is the age rating. It's PG-13.
Yeah.
I think if they went R with it, which I thought it was going to be rated R, then it could have been much more gritty. Like, it could have been violent, but violent in a good way to like show,
Right.
like, kind of just you know what I mean, the violence.
Yeah.
And I thought it being PG-13 just held it back
I
a
agree.
lot.
Early into the movie, I checked my phone because I don't know if it was something I thought they said, but I was curious of like, it felt like it was censored almost.
Yeah.
And it just like they were definitely holding back because they had to. But if they had that rated R, I think they could have expanded a lot.
Yeah,
on
taking it like another step forward. Because even like in the fight scenes, which is not even why I'm wanting it to be R, but in that it was just bloodless. There's hardly any blood. I like tried looking carefully at all like the extras whenever they were slashed or cut. I couldn't see any cuts or anything.
Yeah.
Just a few times here and there. And yeah, it took me out of the movie too, and yeah.
Yeah. So I'm so sorry for my performance today. I think I want to immediately transition. This might be a quick episode today, but
It might be, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I want to transition quickly into the stunts and the fighting choreography, which were extremely flashy, and they looked cool, but I think they were executed pretty poorly, especially near the beginning and near the end. I noticed it the most. There's so like it's how you do stunt or like fighting where the camera is like behind, or it's like the punch is hidden and there's distance, but because of the perspective of the camera, you can place the face and the fist at a distance further, but it would make it look like it's connecting. I think the distance was way too far. Personally, I don't know.
I didn't notice any of that. The action scenes for me were fine, aside from what I said, like the lack of
Let me see
blood.
what I wrote down. But for me, every single time they go to swipe somebody's face with their spear, it feels like the spear is swinging fully in front of their face and not making any contact. And then it's still impressive and it's still good stunt work.
Okay, so
But-
I think we are making the same point because
Well, it's less about
like,
the blood and the visualness of them getting slashed.
Why
but
just?
I feel
sorry.
like there's a lack. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
There's a lack of impact with with those specific shots. I wish I could.
I think that's
Pull 'em up.
because of the PG-13 rating.
I
Like,
don't. Well, I think you can still make a convincing punch
Yeah.
in PG-13.
That
They
I
were
mean,
doing
that's
much
fair. It
worse
just seemed
than-
like they were scared of taking it too far.
Mhm.
But I don't know.
I
I
don't
think
know.
I think we're focusing. I
Mhm.
mean, I am focusing too much on the rating. I really like this movie. I thought it was really good. I thought the story was going to be based on the trailer of Viola Davis just being this warrior
Mhm.
and being tasked with creating this army because they have like a threat coming up. But in this movie, no, the army is like already made, it's established,
Mhm.
but they are going against a war, not like a warring tribe,
Yeah.
but a like
A very strong power in
yeah.
their region that controls them.
I just watched Goodfellas, so it's kind of
Mhm.
like they're the underbosses and the tribe that they're going against is like the mob boss. Because like there's literally a scene where the boss goes to them and is like, okay, where's my stuff? Like, are you gonna pay me for your
Right.
protection? And so in this movie, they're like going against that. They also really hit on slavery in this
Mhm.
movie. That's like a big
Yeah.
driving point of it. And they even say like this tribe that we're following that are the good guys are like deep in the slave trade.
Mhm.
They are selling up either people they captured or their own people off to the slave trade. And like through the course of the movie, Viola Davis's character, who I forget her name. Um,
It's. I want to say it's like neon. It's some. Oh my god! I can see the letters.
yeah,
I wish. I wish there
Naniska.
was an option for.
Naniska. That's on IMDb.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way for me to watch a movie with subtitles and not ruin it for everybody else who
You can
doesn't
do
want
that at
subtitles.
AMC.
Like with what? Like with the glasses?
No, there's actual screenings that like
Oh,
have subtitles on the
yeah.
screen.
I park there any day, but
It does suck.
I do.
But,
I wish I could because I think I am a subtitle lover.
Yeah.
It helps me just comprehend what the people. I don't care if there's white text on the bottom of the screen ruining it. I can now sit there. Excuse me. If I can understand what the characters are saying, but I have to lose out on some of the the visuals and the like cinematography of it, just of like of obstruction on the bottom.
Yeah.
I'll take that every day because I'd rather see like I want the full story and the details in the writing because so much can be missed if like a word or a shout or a sentence is drowned out by a surrounding
Yeah.
sound. And that was like, I think that's just a problem with my hearing because I have that with every single
No, I
movie
get
now.
that. Yeah. I've been leaning towards doing subtitles more and more now. But anyway, yeah, so and like Naniska, like one of her main things in the movie is pointing the king who's played by John Boyega, King Gezo,
Right.
pointing him away from slavery and saying, "Hey, there's other ways for us to make our money that will not like put these people into slavery and like
Right.
this horrible act." And I thought they handled that really well in doing that. Yeah, there's also a subplot in this between this young woman joining the ranks.
Right.
At first I thought like, oh, it won't be that good. It's just gonna be cliche. It wasn't. I thought it was really cool just seeing her rise up through the ranks. One of my problems with it though, the character's name is Nawi, and the actress is Tuso Bedu. I'm so sorry if I butchered that. I probably did. But they make a point in the movie to say, "What, are you 12?" And she says, "No, I'm 19." Because she looks 12. Like she looks like a child in this movie.
Yeah.
And then they start having like a relationship subplot with her and a 30-year-old man. And it just, even like the relationship itself, I didn't really like, but just seeing them together, it was like,
Yeah.
you feel too old, like you feel too young. Even though the actor, like the actress herself, is 30. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's insane, first of all.
31.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me see.
1991.
What on earth? Okay. Well, That's that. Well, that was one of my gripes as well. Because this movie, to go on the thing we were talking about earlier with the historical epic aspect of it, it's like they Hollywooded the crap out of this movie.
They did.
They put a Romeo and Juliet like
Yeah.
minor subplot
And they
in there.
put in another soap opera ish subplot,
Yeah.
which like we probably shouldn't talk about, but it is so like it just kind of comes out of left field. I like the concept of it, of what it adds to Viola Davis's character
Oh,
and her
yeah.
drive against the enemy
Mhm.
and stuff like that. But like how it was executed, it just
Oh my
felt like it didn't fit
goodness
that
gracious.
much,
Yeah.
and it didn't really add to the overall story, especially at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like they
No,
resolve
yeah.
it, but then it's like it just doesn't really get mentioned.
It felt more of like it just felt like a novel of some sort, like some sort of, I don't know, it didn't feel authentic. Like it felt authentic, but it felt like it was like things were modified heavily, especially the story and the writing, just to fit a story of a movie, which is like
Yeah,
fair enough. You're gonna do this, it'll make the movie, more people are going to see it, because if you pitch this movie as a like almost like
it's
a
like a
biopic,
Braveheart like kind of thing.
here's just a tale of these real warriors. I don't know. I think Viola Davis being like almost the star of it was a like big plus side for everybody, because
Yeah.
just like
By the way,
she's
she
great
is
in
so good
everything.
in this movie.
She is.
Yeah, I feel like you don't even have to say that because she's good in everything.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, she is so good in this. All the performances are really good. I said this before, but I really liked Lashana Lynch in this movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just thought she was a really good character, especially
Mhm.
like as the movie keeps going on, you just kind of learn more about her.
I'd say like I now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think there was a performance that I didn't like.
Yeah,
Like
even the enemies,
the
like the antagonists.
antagonists,
Yeah,
Jinx, they did a great job as well. Like they do a very good job of like for that aspect of the story. I'd say they did a very good job of fitting in,
Yeah.
and trying to fill the role of like whether it be like
warring
slaver
tribe
or
yeah,
warrior tribe.
a slaver.
I think they were, the performances were all around very, very solid, especially with the main cast and the main like spotlight focuses. They were all that. I'd say that's where like I haven't really talked about how I thought of the movie yet,
Mhm.
because I don't think I enjoyed it
Yeah,
as much as you.
Okay.
This movie was long. Not actually. It was like 2 hours 15 minutes, which
Yeah.
isn't like absurd. I prefer seeing a 1 instead of a 2 in the hour spot, but that's because I'm lazy. That's the end of the sentence. Put the mic down here, maybe. Do test. Sorry, just making. Why is it?
It's not going to go down.
It's not gonna go down, is it? Okay. Anyways, I think the amount of like, I think the writing and just the cliche plot lines that they recycle from, well, cliche works, but in this specific circumstance, I think when you're trying to tell a unique story of this like tribe of like Amazon female warriors, that's like it's a very cool story to tell. It being just like produced over and over, or like overproduced in the form of writing it into a Hollywood blockbuster instead of being a like grand like almost tale or story.
Yeah, it
Like,
did feel
I don't
like
know.
they were
I don't think I'm explaining
like going back
but-
and forth between should we be this Hollywood movie or should we be this historical epic?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I do think I liked it more than you because I do think it executed a lot of things well. The director of this, here, let me pull up her name because I thought she did a really good job directing it. Especially like at the beginning, just the world building.
Uh-huh.
I really liked at the beginning the tribe or the warriors come through their village, and all of a sudden everyone looks down and they're like,
right.
why are we doing this? And they said, we can't look at them. Like that, it's just a sign of respect. And I like just little things like that. I thought it was really cool to just build up the world. The director is Gina Prince Bythewood.
Gotcha.
I don't know if you've seen it. She did The Old Guard.
I've
It
heard
was
of
on
it.
Netflix.
I've not seen it though.
I haven't seen it either. I don't think I've seen anything she's done, but she's done like this is her second action movie. The Old Guard was the first, but she's done Love and Basketball, and the Secret Life of Bees.
Huh.
But yeah, I thought she was really good in this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have anything else?
About the movie? Yeah, Shorty, let me look at my list because I'd say my list was pretty extensive for this
Yeah.
one.
I will say for me, I watched this a day after I had a 14 hour day,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to wake up early Friday morning,
Yeah.
and so I was really tired. And I saw this in the Dolby Cinema at
Mhm.
AMC. And if you haven't been in there, at the very beginning, they show you a black screen,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Oh, you thought this is black?" And they just show you an even darker black, and they're
Mhm.
like, just to show you the contrast and how Dolby Cinema is superior to other cinema formats because the coloring
Right.
and stuff like that, and it's true 4K. And when they did that, I almost fell asleep.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
funny.
throughout this entire movie, I was struggling
Mhm.
to keep my eyes open.
I have two separate notes on here. My first one is I'm sleepy. And then the second one was a couple later and it says I still have a whole hour left.
I don't have a big complaint against the runtime.
I was just tired. I feel like I don't know. I wasn't hooked myself. And so I don't know. It felt because I think honestly how sleepy I was could have very majorly impacted how I'm interpreting the movie.
I think me too, because there's some times where my eyes were fully closed and I was like, oh wait, no, I have to review this. I'm watching a movie.
Yeah, it was just most movies I watch, I count the minutes and I'll figure out when I leave. And
Me too.
this one, I was like, oh my god, I have an hour and 16 minutes left still, and it's just nothing was super captivating to me. I think at the end of the day, them making it so Hollywood, it just felt like a Hollywood blockbuster movie.
I see that. Yeah.
And it's nothing super crazy is going to happen here. The story beats are predictable. There's so much that there's so much they don't need to do, but that they're doing to fill space. I think that's probably a lot of these complaints I have are about the random subplots and connections and dynamics that are didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
I can't talk about most of them without spoiling stuff because it's there's subplots, but they're still very directly related to the main plot. So I don't want to do that. But it's just it's so many. It seemed like an AI. They put in the actual real life history of the Dahomey warriors,
Yeah.
and then put it into an AI, and it went and it spit out a Transformers movie or something.
It feels like you're kind of doing a wrap up. Do you want to do our scores and then go into spoilers?
We can go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
We're at 30 minutes in. I thought it feels like it's been 10 minutes to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay if we have a shorter episode.
Mhm.
But
I'm still
for
bummed
me-
from losing last week.
I am too. Yeah. For me, I like the action. I wish they went further with it.
Mhm.
I thought the writing was good when they weren't focused on the weird subplots,
Mhm.
like you mentioned. The performances were all just great all around. Yeah, so I'd probably give this an 8 out of 10.
I'd probably give this I gave it a 3.5 stars on Letterboxd. I'd give this a 7.
Okay, yeah.
7-ish.
So we're close.
Yeah. Do you know the Rotten Tomatoes score?
I don't.
Okay,
No.
let me look it up then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess
let me
for
see.
myself first. It's gonna be. Critics aren't gonna hate this. It'll be
I'm gonna say 86.
you know what? Maybe I shouldn't guess. Okay, you said 86 for critics.
I'm gonna say 86 for critics. I think the audience is gonna like it more, so I'm gonna say 90 for audience.
Okay. This would be where an ad break goes. If we
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Spotify Premium.
Are you in trouble? Better call Saul.
What's the name of this movie? The Woman King.
Woman King.
There we go. Thank you. I was just staring at Google's
Yeah.
search box for like.
Speaking
15
of Better
seconds.
Call Saul, I've been watching it. It's pretty good. I'm on the last season now. It is good. Oh, Austin is giving me a look of shock.
So you said
86.
86 tomato meter.
Yes.
And what'd you say for audience?
90.
The tomato meter was 95%.
Oh, okay. I mean, I do think this movie is really good.
Do you wish to change your audience score?
97.
Audience score?
Yeah.
99%.
Ooh,
People loved
that
this
is
movie.
awesome.
It's only been out. There's 133 reviews for Tomato Meter and 1,000
Yeah.
plus verified for audience.
I mean, our reviews would go into that positive.
The critic
section.
consensus is all hail Viola Davis. The Woman King rules. Which isn't wrong, but wow,
I just remember another subplot.
I was not
that
expecting
was
that.
weird. Do you want to go into spoilers?
Let's go ahead and go
Okay.
into spoilers. There's stuff I wanna address.
So, if
Yeah.
you don't want to get spoiled,
Yeah.
leave now. But yeah,
Thank you
go
very
see
much
Woman
for
King.
listening.
It's really good. Next week.
Before we do that, we should showcase the thing you did with, was it Barbarian?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We are doing a new thing
Yeah,
on our
trying it
Instagram
out.
page called That's a Wrap Bites.
Mhm.
So if Austin or I ever see a movie, either together or separate,
Mm-hmm.
and we may not cover it on the main show, but we still want to at least mention it, we're gonna record a little 90-second video,
Mhm.
and we're gonna upload it on our Instagram page
Yeah.
as reels. Our first one was for Barbarian.
Yeah.
I thought that movie was wild
Mhm.
in the best ways.
You were not your expectations for it were low.
No,
if I
because we were
recall.
going to review it, and I went to you
Yeah.
multiple times saying I don't want to watch this.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, let's not do it.
No.
And I came out of it buzzing. This is a good movie.
I'm
not
going
gonna
to
say anything else
soon when I
about
get
it.
the chance. But
You should.
if you want to see the review on it, the bite review,
Yeah,
you can go ahead and visit our Instagram page that we already plugged earlier,
that's a wrap. NCR.
and we're gonna plug it again.
And one more time at the end.
Yes, we will.
But also next week
Mhm.
we're going to review Don't Worry, Darling.
yeah,
Yeah,
that'll be something.
that'll be good. So watch out for that. But in the meantime,
Yeah. Let's go ahead and
Spoilers.
do spoilers
in
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I always feel like the iCarly theme should
Yeah.
start playing.
So the kid thing. She's Viola Davis's kid.
Why?
That is such a soap opera thing.
Why would they do? I don't care.
It felt like she's
What is this,
confronting her
Star
past,
Wars?
and
Really?
that was the reason behind it.
Mhm.
But you could have executed that in a different way. She didn't have to be her kid.
I think the definition of cliche includes "I am your father" or whatnot. It's such a go-to overused plot device
Yeah.
of these characters who are in different worlds are related. It was lost at birth or has a more complicated story or whatnot. But it's it just feels so out of place in this
Yeah.
if you're gonna sit here and hit me with the based on a true story at the beginning, I don't want main character is other main character's sibling or parent or daughter
Yeah.
or whatnot. I don't.
Also, I just remembered
Such a-
another one of the
yeah.
weird subplots with one of the wives
Yeah.
just being
It's
in a
why?
huff, and then it doesn't go anywhere.
don't-
They don't reference her ever again.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's so much going on.
The
Let
main
me-
story is so good.
Mhm.
If they just focus solely on that,
Right.
don't have the weird relationship between the slaver and
Oh my god! Don't even get because I put on the I had a mother daughter note that was just mother daughter and then the eye roll emoji. Immediately following that is when Nawi is that right?
Yeah.
Meets the
Yeah.
not slaver but
but kind
the-
of
oh,
he's still profiting off of it.
well his family's not his family is like some other industry. He's just there with the slaver.
Oh, okay. I
Um,
missed that then.
He's not a
Completely.
slaver at all. He's a completely different
Oh.
industry.
Yeah, I probably
'cause his
fell
mom-
asleep during that.
His mom is Dahomey.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Which is why I was also like, why
okay.
are you a slaver then? Like,
he was not. That's why he was so
Yeah.
like supportive.
Okay.
But the
That
most
makes
Romeo and
sense.
Juliet of it was like, oh, he's white and with like the Spaniards, so therefore, here's a love plot in my like, and
and it
I
came
can
out of
understand to a
nowhere.
certain degree doing a like, literally it's just like Anakin Skywalker like, to love is not allowed, and so then you get that like, oh, it's forbidden secret love, but like who cares? I don't want this. I don't want Romeo and Juliet. I don't want a Romeo and Juliet story. I don't want to, like, I can understand like for a very brief like moment within the movie doing some sort of like temptation, but I want to see I want to see these strong female warriors
Yeah,
do their thing.
and not just have this weird subplot.
Yeah.
With
I want it to be about them. I do not
Nawi
want him to come
looking
in.
so young that
Uh-huh.
they have to point it out
Yeah.
to just
Yeah.
say, "Hey, no, don't worry, she's 19 in this movie."
I think that was probably why it was added.
Oh, yeah,
'cause
no,
it's So
definitely.
incredibly.
Because
oh.
she looks 12. I thought that's why. I thought that's what they were going with at first, to talk
Mhm.
about. Oh, they're making a child
Right.
become a soldier, and at the very beginning, when her family was trying to sell her off to a
Mhm.
husband, I was like, oh, they're like maybe making a comment on this, like,
Mm-hmm.
but no, like she's 19, like,
I want to spitfire some of the cliche. Like, you see this in every Disney Channel original movie, and
Okay.
it's in this one too. During the whole school arc, when she's like, she just got put into the temple and she's like learning all her things, and she messes up, and and all the other kids like chuckle and laugh at her as she like embarrasses
Yeah.
herself. I don't. I don't know about. I do not have the right or the means or anything to talk or to like assume about their culture, but this just feels like this situation is completely interchangeable with anything.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel unique, or it doesn't. My impression, based on the respect that they cultivate in this movie, of like how, like, with the heads down, with everything, and how like distinguished these warriors are and the people in the temple, I think anybody learning to become one or training to become one would not be acting like that, but I do not know.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the school stuff because it just
I like the school stuff. I don't like the like United States like high school, middle school
Yeah, I
like
get that.
tropes of it.
but like I did like her kind of going against what the warriors were doing to show,
Mhm.
hey, there's another way to do this stuff, like helping
Mhm.
out her friends during the trial,
Yeah.
and going back to save Viola Davis,
Uh-huh.
and like one of the things, which is why I think the writing is good, is because you see both of their points of views. When
Mhm.
Viola Davis gets mad at her for saving her life, she's like, that means you could have gotten captured too.
Mhm.
But sorry, what was her name again? The
The
daughter,
Nawi.
Nawi. But then Nawi was like, yeah, but then we wouldn't have you. Like
Mhm.
they both. That's
Yeah.
why I thought the writing was good. But there's other points like that where the writing suffers.
I think I'm also tired of the like kid has like it gets like put into this school for training, and it's like, oh, it's the runt of the litter, and then it's like montage. Now is she like she's climbing on top and killing things the fastest, and now
Yeah.
she's like the top of the
But
class.
they did show her training. Like,
No, they did, but like I think it'd just be refreshing to see like, instead of her be the runt of the litter,
Mhm.
everybody make fun of her. Then she gets strong and everybody respects her. I get that subplot,
Yeah.
not
Okay.
plot line. I
I see
get
what you
that.
mean.
I get it.
I took that scene a little differently, as she is skilled, but she's just hasn't gone through the training yet, so she can't like chop off the
Mhm.
head. But
Well,
I also see what you mean.
Them
and
constantly comparing her improvements to the people around her, and just like,
yeah, maybe I was asleep during that part too.
I don't know, but it's just like I'm tired of that.
Yeah, I get that.
I think it would have been, especially with the theme of this movie and the like empowerment of the of this female warrior
Yeah.
tribe. I think it would have been awesome to see them not create like a hierarchy within themselves, but
Mhm.
all of them grow equally and then all become super strong, and like
Okay.
it's not just
See,
a
I thought that
showcase.
is what they were doing, but maybe I just missed
They definitely
something
were all super
completely.
strong, but especially during the like that test at the end where they're showcasing their skills to Geizo. Is that right? I think that was right. I'm not sure. The king, John Boyega's character,
Gizo.
Gizo. It's like they're obviously going for the trope of look at this. She started out super weak and everybody made fun of her, and then you get another cliche shot. Teacher wakes up in the middle of the night, walks, and then looks over,
Yeah.
and it's the kid training in the
Yeah.
middle of the night
They
trying
do
to
have
become
a lot
stronger.
of cliches here.
My note between those two of the I don't like the kids like laughing at her failing to cut off the head. The existence of a hierarchy is weird, and teacher sees kid training extra alone is sadly predictable story. That was just kind of disappointing in general. I think it would have been really cool, or it probably wouldn't. It doesn't make for a better they'd have to do stuff with it. I'm not saying I'm better at writing than them. I'm not, but if they wanted to make a like Hollywood like blockbuster story, they did.
Yeah.
But if it was a matter of them all supporting each other equally, helping each other where they needed, and then like letting us see firsthand how the Dahomey warriors got to like the Agoji, I think.
I think so.
I apologize for butchering all the
Yeah,
names.
we're so sorry. We're not meaning to.
Yes. But it'd be wonderful to see them like this new class rise up together
Okay, yeah. I see
Um,
what you mean.
and become strong together instead of it being like here's the strongest one and here's like I don't know. I think it would have been like during the test, what if we saw I don't know their names, but like Nawi has her two friends that are the same age of her in the same class. One of them gets stuck in the like brambles, and then the other one keeps running ahead. What if she went back, and then the other one that was already further ahead also went back, and it was like all of them together helping each
Okay.
other.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a more interesting story, and it would have fit the theme better if they're going for that. But that's not what they were going for, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That was the.
I have
cliche with the
everything
school
I have to say. Do you have anything else?
stuff. I do if you want me to rapid fire them.
Just really fast, rapid.
Well, there's the birthmark cut thing.
Yep.
Which is just like, really?
Yeah,
And then
that
she,
just seems so
she looks over on her
implausible.
shoulder and there's a giant shark tooth shaped bump on her shoulder. It's like, I don't know. That was ridiculous. And so,
I hated the
what an
scene of seeing the
insane plot
baby
device.
being cut. I hated that.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I don't want to see an infant.
I don't
be
want to.
cut.
I don't need this to be happening at all.
Yeah.
That
Rapid
was
fire.
after that is when I said I still have a whole hour left. I think one of the best stunt at fighting things that happened in this movie was when they're invading the Oyo camp, and Viola Davis is
At the beginning?
and no
Oh, at the end
at the it's
or the middle.
middle-ish.
Yeah,
It's
when they
when
get
they get the
captured.
gunpowder and when
Yeah.
everybody gets captured. But during that fight, she's like walking towards one of like just some Oyo soldiers, and one of them puts up a rifle and shoots at her, and she blocks it with her blade, and it hits it out of her hand, and then she just reaches out her hand, and the Goji warrior next to her hands her another blade. I think that was so cool.
See, I didn't like that because it looked like such a late reaction time. Like how
I
it
think it
was
looked
edited together.
clean.
No, it looked like he shot, then she was like, "Oh wait," and then put up her blade.
I thought it was
And I was
super
like-
duper clean.
I don't know.
I think
I
it
feel
was
like you'd be shot by the time you put up your blade. But yeah. Do you have anything else?
I think that was the best thing they had in terms of action. I
it
thought
was
it was
cool. Like
I thought it was
cool.
incredibly intimidating and very cool.
Oh, yeah, for
their
sure.
vibe. Standing behind, this like when they're in the final town battle, and there's like Viola Davis finally killed the Oyo leader,
Mm-hmm.
and she turns around and there's a Spanish soldier aiming a rifle at her, and he's about to shoot. And then he falls to the ground, and standing directly behind his silhouette is Nawi with another gun. It's like, stop.
Yeah.
I get it. You saw an action movie once. Stop it.
You were
Please.
really going off on this
I
movie.
there's so much. I think there's a lot of potential that they like played safe with, and they produced a Hollywood movie that was really good, but I think it didn't live up to what I expected from a historical epic, which it ultimately wasn't. You want me to finish off my notes? I'm very close.
I do have to go soon.
Oh,
So-
okay. I got you. Landing. As the Spanish guy who betrays his slaver acquaintance, like he's like about to get in a boat or something, and he stares off, and suddenly he sees all of the Agoji warriors running out, and Nawi is in there. She turns and looks longingly off into the distance, like as the fire grows. Okay, I stop. Back to above. See, I put this in my notes, and I knew what it meant, and I knew this wouldn't make sense later when I looked at it again. Back to above. I have no idea what I meant.
Yeah.
I'm so upset at myself because I was like, okay, I know this is confusing, but I'll remember it. I don't. That's it. That's my notes.
Okay.
It was pretty good. It had flaws.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd give it a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes, but
We would
pretty
contribute
good.
to that, though. We both gave it positive reviews.
I gave it like a 70 something.
That's still
So I
positive.
stand by it. Is, but that's it.
Anyway.
what do you got?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Yeah, good movie. I liked it. Like you said, flaws.
You gotta go. Okay.
Yeah. You can follow us at That's a Wrap NCR.
one flew by.
I already said what we're gonna do next week.
Yeah.
So don't worry, darlings. We're gonna review.
You're not gonna call our listeners darlings. I
Don't
can't
worry,
let that
darling.
happen.
Have you seen the clip with Harry Styles? Like, this is our life.
No, I've not seen that clip. I'm.
It's
I
bad
think this
acting.
is gonna be the
It's-
movie that I finally don't watch and then act like I did.
I have been, and it's so weird because we have been really excited for this movie.
I've been.
Well, like when the trailers
yeah.
come out, we talk really positive
Uh-huh.
about it.
Yeah.
But now, like with everything that's come out, it's like,
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, we'll find out if it's good, and you'll find out if it's good next week.
on. Wait,
That's a wrap.
that's a wrap.
Yeah, on that's a wrap.
Are we ending? I didn't know if you were
Um,
trying to go into a ending.
No, that's it.
That's it, everybody. Thank you
Yeah.
for listening to The Woman King, our review on The Woman King. I mean, he already pitched everything else that we needed to. Hopefully this episode actually exports and got recorded correctly. If it didn't, that's freaking awesome. I will be announcing my retirement right now if that does. But thank you all very much for listening. I look forward to another great season.
I do too. Yeah.
With Lyle Crocodile right over
Yes.
the horizon. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
We didn't even talk about, or they didn't listen last week, so they don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
But we're
coming out.
getting Lyle Crocodile. Let's go.
I'm so excited. Okay, but anyways, that's all for now, and until next time.
That's a wrap.